You've asked for it, you've waited, you got hyped, now here it is, our first r/petty revenge. And I must say I had a lot of fun recording these. If you like Choosing Beggars, I think you're going to love these. In today's stories, we've got a controlling mum who's way too snoopy and reads her daughter's text messages. So the daughter's husband has a little bit of fun. An office hero devises a clever plan to get rid of a miserable coworker. And a story about a couple going to get donuts late at night only to have their parking spot stolen from them by a bunch of bratty university girls. But of course, the story does not end there. If you enjoy this video, please let me know in the comments below and I will make more. Let's get straight into it. This one is called, So, You Want to Snoop on Your Daughter's Texts? So I'm married to a wonderful woman. She's smart, funny, and very kind. Her mother is generally very nice and tends to have a great attitude and be very enjoyable. A bit of a prude, but generally enjoyable. However, she can be a bit of a major snoop. If my wife leaves her phone sitting around, she will just pick it up and start going through it. My wife has kind of laughed this off as a remnant of her mum being controlling when she was a kid. I'm not a fan of this because my wife and I will sometimes text about things that simply don't involve her mother and I don't feel are her business at all. So over Christmas I saw my wife set her phone down on the kitchen counter and I had a brilliant idea. Her mum was still in the kitchen and I sent my wife the most interesting text about all the things I was going to do to her when everyone left. Honestly, most of them are things that we haven't even done, but I had to make it extra scarring. I sent this text from the bathroom, and maybe it was my imagination, but I could swear I could hear an audible gasp shortly after her phone went off. When I went out, her mother absolutely would not look me in the eye. Then, not so discreetly, asked her daughter to come with her to the other room. When my wife came back into the living room, I thought she had been crying. However, upon closer inspection, she was laughing. Her mother had questioned her about me treating her badly and if I always talk down to her like that. My wife had told her kindly that what we do is between us and us only. Probably the best gift this Christmas. I think it's everybody's fear that somebody might be reading their text messages, whether it's a snoopy mum or the NSA. So to hear a story where somebody got some sweet but petty revenge is just beautiful. This one is called Calling Her Fake Quitting Bluff. This happened years ago but still makes me smile. I started working in a corporate office in a secretarial position for my first job after college. There were two older ladies who were also secretaries working in the office. One of them was just fine, but I spent most of my time sitting beside and working with Agnes. Agnes was quickly approaching retirement age, but wasn't going anywhere without a big push. This was in the days where we just started getting computers, and she was absolutely hopeless. She'd pull stuff like, "I can't answer the phone, I'm on the computer." Multitasking was not in this woman's repertoire. She was super fussy and annoying. If I ever came back from lunch 5 minutes late, she would exclaim loudly, "Oh my goodness, there you are! I was wondering what happened to you!" Making sure the whole office knew I was late. Meanwhile, she was usually late coming in the morning, and often left early for various appointments. If I made a typo in a document, she would make sure the rest of the staff knew about it, loudly. She tended to pout when things didn't go her way, and she would quit her job when someone pissed her off. And then my boss's boss would talk her into staying. I'd heard about this tactic of hers, and one day, our boss did something that annoyed her, and she quit again. My boss's boss was away that day, so I had my chance. I quickly advertised and planned a big retirement party for her. It was a done deal by the end of the day. People were dropping by and congratulating her, and everyone looked forward to the party. At that point, I guess she figured it was too late to pull her usual shenanigans, and she actually retired. I told my boss not to bother replacing her because it was damn easy to cover the little work she actually accomplished every day. Let me know in the comments if you ever had a coworker like this. I've had my fair share of bad secretaries to deal with. In particular, older secretaries at schools seem to be the worst for some reason. You'll come up to the front office and you need to talk to them, while they're having a conversation with the person next to them, which you can tell is a personal conversation, nothing to do with work, they'll acknowledge you for that split second and then just continue their personal conversation for minutes before they'll actually get to you and deal with you. That's just a mini rant there, but I'm okay now. This petty revenge is called Take My Parking Spot. What goes around, comes around. This may be the pettiest thing I have ever done. So in my city, there is a pub that's attached to a donut shop that serves the best donuts in the city, which always causes a long line. Because it's attached to a pub, it doesn't close shop until 9 PM, as there is a solid flow of business rolling in. Anyway, my girlfriend and I get a serious hankering for some snacks, so we decide to head to the donut shop and arrive out by 8:30 PM by car. Now there are only 3 parallel parking spots a little up the street from the place, and they are all 15-minute spots which are usually full. We see up the street that, count our lucky stars, a spot is free. My girlfriend pulls a little ahead of the car in front of the spot, turns on her indicator and begins backing into the parking spot, when this little white Vespa driving behind us whips into the spot. I roll down our window and call out to the driver. "Excuse me, we were just backing in." The driver seems to be a pretty uni student who shrugs her shoulders and calls out to me, "Sorry, first come first serve," while her and her friends share a good laugh. My girlfriend suggests we get donuts another time, and I tell her she can drop me off here, I'll buy the donuts since I know what she likes, and she can loop around. She agrees and I pop out of the car, past the little white Vespa where the girls are still gathering their things, and head to the shop. As always, the line is super long for donuts, and since this is the last batch, the donuts are slim pickings. The girls are behind me looking at the 5 or so different flavors that are left, talking about which ones are best and which ones they haven't had yet. I hear one of them jokingly mention, "Thank goodness we got a parking spot," and they burst out laughing. I get to the front of the line, and when I ask for my order, request 2 dozen donuts, which is every last one remaining. The girls behind me didn't listen to what I ordered, but eyebrows of confusion started to form on their faces as they slowly saw each donut loaded into the boxes and their options dwindle. One of them, the driver, in desperation, asked the baker who was loading them in, "What, you're not even gonna save a few for us though?" To which I turned around and said, "Sorry, first come, first serve." She honestly looked like she just simultaneously solved a movie mystery and pooped her pants. It's difficult to put into words, but truly an expression I can never forget. Best donuts I ever tasted, and enjoyed by the rest of my office the next morning. What a champion. People who steal parking spots, they always act as if, "Oh, I didn't realize you were parking in here." In this case, she had the nerve to rub it in his face. People like that do not deserve donuts. I'm so glad I did this subreddit. I enjoyed it so much. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed it too, and I might add it as its own series. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.